a Major Tom, you've really made the grade. And the papers want to know whose shirts you wear. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping through the door, and I'm floating in a most peculiar way. And the stars look very different today. For here am I sitting in a tin can, far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. I think my spaceship knows which way to go. Tell my wife I love her very much, she knows. Ground control to Major Tom, your circuit's dead, there's something wrong. Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear? Floating around my tin can, far above the moon. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do.
What are you looking at?
I'll give you $10,000 to drive me to Paris.
Ich bin total bescheuert, oder?
Ich denke nicht, dass du bescheuert bist.
And I'll give you another 10 when we get there.
Jesus. What do you mean?
Tires felt a little splashy on the way over here.
It pulls a little to the right.
Last chance, buddy.
We got a bus coming out.
Well, I went down to Radio Shack and bought a high-speed transistor. I wound a coil and put a little capacitor on, designed up a little tiny transmitter that would jam TV signals. And the black and white TVs in our dorm, it would jam just real good. I tested it. And so I went over to this hall, Libby Hall, and down in the basement they had a color TV. And sit in the back, and I finally jammed it a little, and it fuzzed up the picture. It didn't really jam it, it just fuzzed it up. A friend of mine in the front row, without even any planning, whacked the TV. So I made it go good. And then after a while I would jam it and he would whack it and it would go good. And it was amazing to watch this effect because I hadn't planned it, but it was like a psychology experiment. And for 2 weeks they put one person next to the TV set every night. Whenever the picture went bad, he had to turn the controls or whack it till it went good. And sometimes one time they held the antenna up in the air to make it good. And eventually they had to stand on a chair. Another time, one guy had his hand on the middle of the screen. 3 guys were fixing the TV. One guy had his hand on the middle of the screen and a foot up in the air on a chair. And I made it go good. And eventually they relaxed and it went bad. And they said, put your bodies back where they were. Because by now they were sure that where their bodies were made the TV work. Eventually he put his hand on the TV and it worked. And he put his foot down on the floor and it failed. And he put his foot back up on the chair and it worked. And he turned to the audience and announced, it's a grounding effect.
disconnect the oxygen hose. There's a world out there.
I think I should split, but wait a minute, I feel something in my knees. Is it music I knew to do? Can I resist?
Alright, stand up on the exterior step. Keep your head down. And our guardian angel will take care of you.
Can I resist this? It's the kind of beat I just can't dismiss. It's too early for me.
Release the helmet tie-down strap.
Can we sit aside and not qualify in the worst you've ever seen? I'm a screw.
What I can see. Sometimes your estrogen is really high. Oh, you are. I'm going home now.
Can I resist this? My head was shaking my hips. Can I resist this? It's the kind of beat I just can't dismiss. Can I resist this? My head was shaking my hips. Can I resist this? It's the kind of beat I just can't dismiss.
See if you can get a respiratory count. Speed 546.
Been falling 25 seconds.
Speed 600 miles per hour. 650 miles per hour. Speed 700.
So please, filmez-vous en train d'essayer de chanter Universal. Montrez-nous surtout.
David, you calling me?
On espère pouvoir bientôt votre vie.
Can anybody understand him?
Jouer notre nouvelle
1 minute free fall.
manqué.
I have been following speed for a long time. Sounds like I have to pass out. I'm pulling my buses.
Je veux un chien, quelqu'un qui déconne, qui pense pas qu'à
Afgelopen jaar is er ineens een codewoord, een frase bij allerlei politieke leiders in de hele wereld opgedoken. Ineens gebruiken zij allemaal de term Build Back Better. Dan heb ik het over Boris Johnson in het Verenigd Koninkrijk, Trudeau in Canada, maar ook Biden in Amerika. Dus allemaal linksige mensen, left-leaning politici, Macron. En die gebruiken allemaal die term Build Back Better.
Je veux un chien.
get out now. Away from me. This your store?
Yeah.
It's a little hard to find.
Yeah. David Bowie. Heroes. My dad was my hero, but I didn't realize, sometimes you can realize your hero's late. Never realize they're your hero until they can't be a hero no more. Oh, okay. David, I never heard of David Bowie. He got a little suit on, it looked like he about to jam. We about to see. Let me hear it. Bowie!
You can be me.
Okay, you play too damn much. David Bowie, how you come in like that? Okay.
You can be me. And I'll drink all the time. 'Cause we're lovers. That is the fact.
I like David.
Yes, we're lovers. That is fact.
Oh, Dave.
Oh, nothing will keep us together. We can be them forever and ever.
He said nothing.
Yeah, we can be heroes just for one day.
He ain't playing no more.
What you say, I say. I could swim like dolphin, like a dolphin can swim. Oh, nothing will drive them away.
His voice.
We can beat them forever and ever. Just for one day. What you say? I said.
Okay, Dave, do your thing. Put it in position to be made. Put it in position. He's lining it up. His voice. That ain't him. Sound like a bass guitar. Singing. How did this dude voice that deep, man? He was just having fun and he went straight into this deep. I don't know what he did, but David, it sounds good, man. Man,
you would be my clay.
Okay, so I was wrong. I thought this was getting into something a little this ain't nothing to do with that. My bad, David. I took you for a mistake. You are a passionate man. He's not playing about this story. Something happened. The gun went off above their head. What happened with this woman? Hold on now. Is guns involved? This is deeper than I think it is. Let me sit the hell back and re-listen to something.
Gunshot above our heads, all around our heads, and we can't stop it. As though nothing could fall, nothing could fall. And the shame, it fell on the other side. We can pick them forever and ever. Just for one day. What to say, I said. We can be heroes. Oh, I said. We can be heroes. I said. We can be heroes. Just for one day. We can be heroes. Follow nothing. You know we can help us. Maybe we're not yet. Then you pretty much say we can be heroes. Just for one day. Just for one day. We can be heroes. Just for one day. Oh yeah. I felt that.